Okay, congratulations on this role, and I just want to know how you just keep knocking them out of the park with each performance. It's amazing.
You know, it's a difficult process. It takes takes a lot of skill and great. No, I think this movie in particular is this sort of interesting kind of bookend to a period of time in my career that I started with this movie Donnie Darko like almost 10 years ago, and then this movie is in a similar kind of vein to that movie, and just in the fact that it's such a sort of psychological, very sort of question-oriented, I would say, type of film. With I think the difference between the two is that this is a huge thriller and highly entertaining in a different way. But I just love picking movies that I find like I can't stop reading when I read the script, and then just hope that they'll be the same way when we put them on film.
Well, aside from the character having the coolest name ever, Colter Stevens. What a cool name! Don't you think so? I just think that is the coolest name.
I don't know if his name is Colter Stevens or Sean Fentress, because he is in somebody else's body for half of the movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's sort of a toss-up between those two names. But yeah, it's a cool name.
Yeah, I really like that. Like Colter, that could be people will be naming their kids Colter. I think. I don't know. It's
really. I love how enthusiastic you are about.
I really like it.
Such important things.
If I didn't have two boys already and my store is closed, I would name my kid Colter. Yeah, definitely.
Your store is closed.
My store is shut. Doors are done. We're out of business. Working with the lovely Michelle Monaghan, and I want to ask you too about repeating over and over the same thing, but in a way it's not, because you have so much more going on with your character. Mm-hmm. Was that a challenge for you?
I think the challenge of the movie like this is because you're repeating so many of the same, you're in the same scenario, or it seems like that so often, that variation was always something we had to keep in mind, and even with slight variation, to make it always interesting. And I think where the movie succeeds is that even though you do keep coming back over and over again, it's always different. Mm-hmm. It always feels different, and we worked really, really hard on that, and it was fun. I mean, I think that's fun,
Yeah.
Figuring out how to make it new every time, even though you're in the same scenario. And I think the audience has a fun time when they watch it, because there are all these clues and subtleties, not only in the foreground of shots when you're looking at someone in a close-up, like with a shot of Michelle, but in the background too. Yeah. With each character that you meet, you start to get to know the train and all the people on the train really, really well in different ways, because you follow each one of their stories as a way of trying to figure out the mystery of the whole thing.
And Russell Peters, Canadian comedian, did he keep you guys in stitches the whole time?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He was properly cynical, which is actually very unlike most Canadians I know. I feel like they're always positive and not as cynical as Russell. Maybe that's why.
You're probably not seeing the real us.
Oh, it's not the real you.
Yeah,
okay.
That's probably what it is.
Okay.
Okay, so Jake, if you had 8 minutes
Yeah.
to complete a task, something that you knew that you could completely finish in 8 minutes, what would it be? Or want to finish in 8 minutes, something that
Like properly and well, instant oatmeal probably.
But 8 minutes? I think you could do 8 packs in 8 minutes.
You think it's a minute? It takes a minute to make instant oatmeal?
I think so. Just warm up the water and
not
pour
if
it
you're
in.
gonna make it well.
Really?
Really well.
What kind of oatmeal are you eating?
I'm glad this interview has been about so many important things. We talk about what
working,
kind of oatmeal.
trust me.
I mean, there are all different kinds of oatmeal, but I prefer steel cut oatmeal. It's more fibrous and fascinating.
Good. I'm glad it works for you.
Yeah.
I want to talk about working with Michelle, because
Mm-hmm.
I thought she was great in this. And
Yeah.
what was it, how was the bond between the two of you?
I think she's sort of, I think growing up with two brothers that she has a sort of really great, kind of crude, wonderful sense of humor and spirit. And she's always, I don't know if it comes from working with like someone like Robert Downey Jr. or Val Kilmer when she did Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, but she has just a real wonderful spirit of improvisation. So you throw things at her and she's always there, and it's a really hard skill to have. And she's such a good heart, and she's so lovable, and she is in the movie, and it was wonderful working with Michelle. We were laughing all the time and having a good time, particularly also with our Canadian crew, who, that's why I say they're always so positive, because they always have such a good sense of humor, but maybe that comes out of a little bit of cynicism.
We try hard, but you are fantastic, and it's really just such a good film. I really
Thanks.
enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you so much. That was fun.